multi-car team.
Oh, we got one on the wall there.
Yeah,
Mark.
that looks like one of the coin cars.
That is Gutierrez.
That's the 18 of Gutierrez, and a big fire comes out of the back of that machine, and he made heavy contact with that outside retaining wall. And Davey, that's in the area around troublesome turn 1.
Yeah, it sure is. Boy, a heavy hit on the right side of that car, front and rear. And unfortunately, this session is going to be over right now. And he was 6th. Actually, he was one of the guys in. Now, he didn't get underneath that 1 minute mark. It was very, very close. But that's going to put James Hinchcliffe, who's 7th, into that top 6 right now. He's going to be happy. But guess who it leaves out? Tony Kanaan, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Connor Daly, and Sebastian Saavedra. Now, Alexander Rossi, he jumped up with another good time of 59.5. But how about this? Newgarden went a 59.8 on blacks. He goes out on reds, only went a 59.6. Didn't pick up a lot of time with that, from the blacks to the reds. So very interesting.
Yeah, that's part of the conversation, Davey. I think ideally everyone would like to see a bit more disparity between those reds and blacks. People would like to see strategy enter into it with those reds and blacks not being so close together in terms of their wear. We know that the reds that the Firestone brought, or the alternate compound, they did add some grip level to that the compound.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be interesting how it all lays out. But wow, what a big hit that was! And I have to tell you, I haven't seen a replay yet, but I have to think this could have been under the bumps, or who knows what really happened right here. But I'm looking forward to seeing the replay. And one thing I want to look back on Charlie Kimball's comments when he said, wow, these guys are crazy going through this, 9, 10, 11 section, which is very, very tight. And he goes, yeah, we're fast. Yeah, I know I'm one of those guys, but not as fast as the Penske guys. So that just tells you how good those cars are, because that has nothing to do with engine. That has nothing to do with power going through those circuits. That's handling race cars. And I really think that's where Penske, they have those cars handling so well, and I think it's a situation to where down on power they've just had to. Oh yeah, that is coming off of turn 11. It happened a little bit earlier than where I thought it did, and when that turn 11's so tight right there, and if you missed it at all, and it looks like he turned in just a touch early, the front end slid, and he pile drive that outside wall in turn 11, just destroying the right side of that car.
And Nick, he was not in a hurry to get into the safety vehicle. I mean, he's leaning up against that outside retaining wall, and he's trying to collect his thoughts a little bit. That was a big-time hit, heavy right-side damage to that race car.
And it has been such an up-and-down weekend for Esteban Gutierrez. He had problems yesterday during the second practice session, exiting turn number 1, where he smacked the left side of that car that brought out a red flag and ended his session early. And as Davey talked about, boy, what a kick to the gut, because he was sitting there in 6th and was going to put that car into the second round. This driver from Mexico with a lot of Formula One experience that jumped into that car mid-season has really done a nice job. Did a really good job in Iowa last week, Mark, of taking care of that car. And as you mentioned, that was a big hit exiting turn 11 coming to the start-finish line.
It'll be a long night for that race team, Davey.
Yeah, it is. And we just talk about him getting in that wall and how fast those Del Cohen cars have been this week or this year. It's been amazing, but they've had a lot of damage, destroyed race cars. And this one is big enough where, you can replace a lot of things, but if you damage the tub on these race cars, that's a completely new race car. He hit hard enough where it could have done some tub damage. Let's hope not, but it could be a big repair for them.
Beneficiary would be James Hinchcliffe. He slots into the top 6 along with Simon Pagenaud, Alexander Rossi, Joseph Newgarden, Max Chilton, Scott Dixon, and we mentioned Hinch. Narrowly missing Kanaan, Hunter-Ray, Daly, Saavedra, and Gutierrez. And Nick Yeoman, we talked about it earlier. Scott Dixon mired around 13th, 14th, 17th on timing and scoring all weekend long. And then when it's time to go, he slips himself into the Fast 6. He's at least got a chance for a top 12 start.
Yeah, and think about that interview we heard from Charlie Kimball. He was optimistic that he felt like the data gathered from the other 3